Well, this is a quick update on the girl whose story I read out in Downing Street. And to anybody who heard it and paid attention to it, I hope you listen to this too, because this is really important. Now, I've asked the girl if she will make a Just Giving account. Obviously, she needs to make that account. The reason that I wanted to start a Just Giving account is because if anybody who listened to what I actually said will know, this girl was she was raped and trafficked up and down the length and breadth of this country by Pakistani Muslim men. And it doesn't matter how much people keep screaming at me, you're racist for saying it, I'm going to keep saying it, and I'm going to keep saying it, and I'm going to keep saying it, because it's a statement of fact. This girl wasn't permitted to get off the bed, to wash, to use the toilet. Men would queue up outside doors of mucky flats, where they would then come in and take turns on her. She started to self-harm quite severely, and in the hopes that they would find the scars repulsive and leave her alone. They didn't find the scars repulsive. In fact, one Muslim in particular, decided to take a blade and cut her whilst he was raping her. What he liked to call blood play. Now, she was taken to places where one would walk behind, one would walk in front, and repeatedly raped. Now, the counsellor that she has, it's taken her a long time to build up trust, and I don't know if people understand what it takes for a person who's been raped to gain that kind of trust from a person, or to give that kind of trust to a person. It's an immense thing, and it's a very difficult thing to do. And the counsellor that she's got, she's built up a rapport with, and there is now trust between them. However, she only has one session left, and after that session she must pay £50 each time to see her. She did go to see a doctor when this first came out and the paperwork was issued that she had been sexually trafficked, and he wanted her to go and see a Pakistani Muslim counsellor. As you can all understand, why would you? Now, unfortunately, sorry, I just need to turn the sound off my phone because it will just keep buzzing and buzzing and buzzing continuously. Because of the fear of this counselling session ending, she took an overdose. Now she is okay, and she's back home, but as you can all imagine, this is not an easy time for her. She needs this money to pay for this counsellor. Now, I don't know what else to say other than just £1, you know? It's not for Maria's, it will be for her, and it will be her Just Giving account. It won't be a Maria's account. I don't ask for donations. I've never asked for donations, and I don't intend to ask for donations. I have had people offer to help, and every bit of help is appreciated, including a lady in America who has offered. She makes handmade bears by hand, every single stitch lovingly done by her, and she wants to make a Maria's bear, and for the money to help do what we're doing for the girls that do come forward. And if I can get Maria's registered as a charity, which is what I wish to do, an official charity, we can help a lot more girls. And that matters to me. They matter to me. This girl matters. Sorry. This girl matters to me. She matters to me a lot, as do all the girls. And I don't think it's just girls, I think there's boys too. I do think there's boys out there, and I hope that they will come forward, because they all deserve support, whether they be girls or boys. She won't ask for herself, and I did ask her permission before I made this video, because I don't do anything without people's permission, the same as I don't breach confidences. On top of all this, um, it's not enough that I'm being continuously trolled by the same person. I'm also getting abuse from people who supposedly stand for the same things as me. I'm not quite sure why I'm getting abused. Maybe it's because I'm a woman with a mouth. I don't know. But when you sit, as I have done, and you listen to some of these things that have been done to these people, these girls. Now, I could turn the camera off here and start all over again, but that wouldn't be me being true to being me. So just give me a minute to compose myself. If everybody could donate just £1, when she gets the site up and running, I'll share the link out on my Twitter and I'll put it out on my Facebook. And I can only hope that the people who contact me is never your daughter or your son, because she is somebody's daughter. She's also somebody's mum. And those children out there who are now in their 30s were somebody's daughter and somebody's son. And if we can make a difference, we should do whatever it takes to make a difference. I really didn't want to do this video, if I'm honest. But I can't think of any other way to get her the help she needs. And she's such a character. She really is. She's funny and she's smart. But she's vulnerable. And she knows she's vulnerable. And she knows she needs to stick with the same counsellor in order to really get the help she needs. And she wants to get to the end of the tunnel. She does. She just doesn't know how. And if she doesn't have this help, then she may not. And next time she may not act as swiftly as she did. And she may not be with us. And that really bothers me. That really bothers me a lot. Changing the subject slightly, but keeping in keeping with the problems that we face in this country. The bomb that was exploded in Watford, not that far from where my mother lives. My mum could have been in that town. So could your mum. To the little boy who was beaten up and the video shared around. Now, when I put on my account, I made a phone call. The police acted immediately. There wasn't me saying, as the troll would like everybody to believe, that the police acted because it was my phone call. My point was that instead of people just sharing these videos on and watching them and going, oh, it's terrible, actually get off your backside, pick a phone up and ring the police. Report it. If everybody mass reported these things, we might catch more of the little shits that do these kind of things. And that was my point, that you only get 140 characters in which to state your case. So I just wanted to clear that up so people knew that it wasn't, they didn't act because it was my phone call. They acted because a phone call or more were made. And my point is, don't keep sharing the videos. If you know where that is, you recognise the place, pick the phone up and report it. Because you're all sitting there thinking, well, somebody's bound to have seen it, somebody's bound to have reported it, but they may not have done. So you could be the first person to get that report in, so don't hang about. Don't just watch it and share thinking and assuming that it's already been reported. Report it yourself. You know, don't be afraid to do that. And that was my point. So although this is very quick and very brief, very to the point, and I'm sorry I've got a little bit emotional, because I do care about these girls, and this girl in particular was one of the first that came forward and actually trusted me with her story. And that speaks volumes about her and her confidence in herself. It took a lot of courage to do that. So I'd like her to get the right help with the counsellors she's already established with. I'm infuriated that this girl should be expected to pay a single brass farthing for any form of counselling. This should be covered by the government. They should be paying for this, and they should do it freely, without question. But they don't. If we leave these girls floating in no man's land is where they're going to end. So I would ask everybody, when she gets the site up and running, as soon as she's got it up, and she's got to figure out how to do it, because like me, she probably is I'm a bit of a dummy when it comes to anything like that. But once she's got that up and running, I will share it out and I'll get it out on my page. And I'm not asking everybody to give. I know people don't have money to spare. We none of us are. I mean, I sure as hell don't have money floating around. Believe you me, if I had the money, I'd give her the money myself. But if we could just get enough to get her through a few more sessions to start with, it's a start. It's not a lot to ask, but I know it is a lot to ask. It's a lot to ask of everybody when there's always so much mistrust with anything that comes to donate, and we've all seen the allegations that fly whenever anybody, I mean, Tommy and Kev did that walk for the little girl, and people were so ready and quick to make accusations with no real reason to make any accusations. And the evidence was there, black and white, and still they made accusations. So that's why I steer away from asking anybody to donate to Maria's as well. If I can get Maria's registered as a registered charity and get funding, I have ideas of how we can make a difference to these girls' lives, and not just where people are sharing out the information of what's happened to them, but where what happens to them actually gets dealt with. As you can see, I'm really tired. I've not slept very well for the last few nights. This girl's really important, just as all these other girls are important. And let's show, even if it's just one girl at a time, that they matter to us, all of us. And let's see if we can't get some help. So, like I said, I'm sorry that I've got a bit emotional. But if she can be prepared to come forward to put her story out there, which has been written up by Pamela Geller, for anybody who's curious as to who I'm talking about, that's who I'm talking about. So her story is, if you look on Pamela Geller's website, you will find this girl's story. That's the girl who I'm talking about. And I'd like to give her the opportunity to know that there are people out there who are willing to go just a quarter of an inch mile further than necessary to really make a difference. So please, if you can afford it, if you can't, there's no judgment on people who can't, because I know people are not in good positions financially right now. And we've got David Cameron to thank for that, along with every other mean-spirited, greedy, son of a bitch politician that were all about themselves. Me personally, I'd like to see Labour pay for every girl's counselling, considering they were the ones that sat back and ignored it. But as it is, we can help one girl at a time. We do have more girls getting in touch. And I've had guys that have got in touch that were in homes and who remember young girls being taken away for the weekend by grown, married Muslim men and coming back after a weekend battered. So people are starting to get in touch. And if we can help them one at a time, let's help them one at a time. But let's at least start by doing something. That's all I want, to make a difference. I'm sorry that I got upset. I wish everybody an amazing Father's Day. I hope you all have wonderful Father's Days. Fortunately, my father's not and he's no longer with me. But happy Father's Day, Dad. So you're not forgotten. For now, best of British and English to you, and you all have a great evening, and take care of yourselves.